A group of Pleistocene skeletons found in this country were found to contain DNA similar to that of Australian Aboriginals. Those skeletons were unrelated to the local Botocudo people who speak a Macro-G language. The Botocudo were displaced by frontiersmen similar to those who killed King Zumbi of Quilombo dos Palmares, a kingdom ruled by escaped slaves in this country's Pernambuco state. This country followed a policy called Café com Leite and banned slavery with the Golden Law. For 10 points, name this country named after a type of tree discovered by Pedro Alvarez Cabral. And that would be Brazil. These people elected military leaders called toquis in times of crisis. However, they were later ruled by Aurélie Antoine I, who promised to bring them French military aid. These people lived around the town of Temuco and the river Biobío, and they speak a language isolate. Attempted conquerors of this people include Alonso de Arcia, whose sympathetic account of them is now their native country's national epic. For 10 points, name this notoriously hard-to-conquer tribe attacked by Pedro de Valdivia, who were chronicled in La Araucana, speak Mapudungun, and live in modern Chile. And those people would be the Mapuche. One monarch of this country was given a crown made of cardboard until his golden one was shipped in from abroad. It's not Prussia, but another monarch of this country built the Sans Souci Palace. A non-monarchical ruler of this country had formerly worked as a coachman and owned several large plantations. After his exile, he was replaced by a man who created this nation's flag by ripping the white stripe out of the flag of its former colonial overlord. For 10 points, name this country ruled by leaders including Christophe I, Faustin I, Jean-Jacques I, and Toussaint Louverture. And that would be Haiti, the Republic of Haiti, or the Empire of Haiti. One political party named after these objects opposed the reduction parliament during their country's Age of Liberty. A group of Turkic tribesmen named for their distinctive red type of these objects helped install Ismail I as the first Safavid Shah. James Monroe was given a nickname referencing a type of these objects due to his role as the last major political figure from the American Revolution era. A variety of these objects emblazoned with a political slogan has attracted controversy for being made in China. For 10 points, name this type of object whose tricorn and Make America Great Again variants have proven quite popular. And those would be hats. The future rebel Anne Lucian was nearly executed for stealing these animals, and Easter Island was, for many years, the private possession of a country engaged in farming these animals. These animals were the namesake of the Kara, Koyunlu, and Ak Oyunlu tribal confederations, and these animals are compared to the title gentleman rankers in a Rudyard Kipling poem. Tamerlane perfected many of his stratagems by working as a thief of these animals, and the biblical Isaac was bamboozled by Jacob using a product of these animals. For 10 points, name these animals that outnumber people in New Zealand. And those would be sheep. A political party in this country won votes by claiming that only they could save its citizens from a shape-shifting monster that would sodomize them in their sleep. A battle in this country reached a turning point when a British machine gun battery angered a nest of bees and an infirmary was destroyed by friendly fire. This modern-day country was the location of a war in which a British fleet defeated Sultan Khalid ibn Bargash in 38 minutes. This country contained many Ujamaa villages during associated socialist period initiated by the Arusha Declaration. For 10 points, which country's two constituent parts were united under the Afro-Arab Party overthrew a sultanate based in Stone Town? And that would be the United Republic of Tanzania. The Tale of an Anklet, published in the language of these people, includes a lengthy section describing the prosperous trade they did with the Roman Empire. For much of their history, these people were ruled by three kingdoms, the Cheras, the Pandayas, and an empire that was responsible for building the temple at Tanjore under its ruler, Raja I. These people's literary canon is summarized in 5 great epics, and a popular chief minister of the Indian state named for this ethnic group, Jayalalitha, recently died. A member of this ethnic group was responsible for assassinating Rajiv Gandhi. For 10 points, name this ethnic group that fought the Sinhala in the Sri Lankan Civil War. And those would be the Tamil people. Tamil. One member of this group overthrew the tyrant of Lesbos. Another was the father of Cleomenes I of Sparta and wished that the island of Cythera did not exist. Another member of this group told the story of Cleobis and Biton to King Croesus of Lydia and was succeeded in his highest position by Pisistratus. A fourth member of this group cornered the olive oil market in his home city and predicted an eclipse, thus ending a war between the Medes and the Lydians. That member created the philosophy that everything was composed of water after falling into a well. For 10 points, name this grouping of pre-Socratic ancient Greek notables, including Pittacus of Mytilene, Chilon of Sparta, Solon of Athens, and Thales of Miletus. And those would be the 7 sages. The poet Arthur Rimbaud assisted this ruler in coming to power. One of this man's immediate predecessors ordered the largest mortar in the world, and another was killed at the Battle of Metemmah. The victor at that battle was Khalifa Abdullahi. This man's reign saw the destruction of the Russian colony at Sagallo, the land for which was later sold to the French. This man conquered several Somali kingdoms to the south of his nation, and a famous painting of his greatest accomplishment shows St. George looking down upon a battlefield. At that battle, this man defeated Oreste Baratieri. For 10 points, name this victor at the Battle of Adwa and Emperor of Ethiopia who reigned from 1889 until 1913. And that would be Menelik II. One king of this country initiated a purge known as the Years of Lead. Another returned from exile in Madagascar to reclaim his throne, and Marshal Hubert Liaouti suppressed a rebellion in this country. An English colony in this country, inherited through Charles II's marriage into the House of Braganza, was blown up after its parliamentary funding was withdrawn. The Battle of Parsley Point was fought by this country in 2002, and this country has built a so-called Great Berm to obstruct the movements of the Polisario Front. For 10 points, name this nation which expelled UN observers from Western Sahara. And that would be the Kingdom of Morocco. For the next question, a description is acceptable. This action was first undertaken by Jorge Alvarez. One person who claimed to have performed this action referred to Sumatra as Lamari and said it was inhabited by communist cannibals with great horns. One man who performed the reverse of this action was a Nestorian monk named Robin Bar Salma. This action was undertaken by Giovanni Pian del Carpin, and Ippolito Desideri produced a translation of several sutras after undertaking this action. The most famous practitioner of this action wrote his memoirs in a Pisan jail cell. For 10 points, name this action undertaken by Lord Macartney, whose namesake mission ended in a disaster after he refused to kowtow. And that would be Europeans going to China. These people were led for some time by a female war chief known only as the Prophet, who advocated scorched earth tactics. A group of these people, known as the Garamantes, were famed for building aqueducts. These people invented the Tifinagh script, and Gibraltar is named after one of these people. The oasis city of Sijilmasa was controlled by these people who founded the Almoravid dynasty. For 10 points, name these people who speak the Tamazight language, which is co-official in Morocco. And those would be the Berbers.